Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parsha Shoftim in Perek Tes Zayin Pasuk Yud Ches, chapter 16, verse 18. It says, "V'shaftu es ha'am mishpat tzedek." The judges shall judge the people a righteous judgment. Rashi explains that this means that the judges themselves have to be honest and they have to be righteous. The Midrash Tanhuma goes even further and says that judges have an obligation to plead on behalf of the Bnei Yisrael to Hashem, meaning they have to find zechuyot, merits that Hashem will reward us with. And the Midrash goes on further and gives an example of someone who became a leader because he was someone who defended the Bnei Yisrael and looked to find the merits for them. And that's talking about Gideon. Gideon, who was, before he was appointed, he was an unknown person. But when the angel came to him, Gideon pleaded on behalf of the Bnei Yisrael and using references to Egypt. Rashi explains why did he use a reference to Egypt and Efraim? Because the angel came down on the day of Pesach, and Gideon said, "My father last night said Hallel about Hashem taking the Bnei Yisrael out of Egypt. Now, if those people had merits, then use those merits and extend them to us and save us from suffering at the hands of Midian. But if those people didn't have merits either, then surely you should save us, even though we're sinners today, save us from the hands of Midian." Now, Hashem could have said, calling my children sinners, and gotten upset and said and punished Gideon, but no, Hashem liked this, that Gideon was honest, but he was still pleading and finding a merit on the Bnei Yisrael, either because we have merits, or because even if we don't have merits, this is the way Hashem you operate, you should save us. We see, and this is kind of like a father. Any father, he wants to hear someone trying to advocate on the behalf of his child. And this Dvar Torah is based on Rav Pam from Chumash. And so here he was, Gideon was pleading on the behalf of the Bnei Yisrael to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and saying, look, one way or the other, yes, we're not doing the right thing now, but find a way, either because there's a past merit from our ancestors, or because of our, or for tradition of healing, of saving us, even though we don't have merits. And we see someone who is a very big advocate of the Bnei Yisrael, always finding the positive spin, and that's Rav Levy I'm not going to go into any of those stories right now, but the Rav Pam goes further and says that the Bnei Yeshiva today have a special requirement that they look to find merits on behalf of Klal Yisrael in general. Why is that? That's because the Bnei Yeshiva, they're used to going into the Gemara, analyzing every single word and nuance, and sometimes there seems to be a contradiction here or there, but they're going to work on it and find a way to resolve it favorably. So the same thing, if you can do this for something in Shulchan Aruch or something in Gemara, so surely we should find favor for those other Bnei Yisrael, the children of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to work hard to find their merits, and especially at this time of year. We're in Elul. Elul is already a quarter of the way through. Rosh Hashanah and the Day of Judgment is approaching. If we want to find merits for ourselves, one of the best ways to find merits for ourselves is to find merits and tell them to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and then he should judge us favorably in a good way. So thank you for listening. Feel free to share this, sign up and subscribe, whichever way you want. And thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.